Yeah, well, there's basically three content pillars that we like to go by when it comes to content, and the first one is behind the scenes, and that really brings the personality, the real person, to your content and to your social media. And so, you're you're already doing it, right? You're already doing your day to day, creations and making stuff, but
Hmm.
let's record that. Let's show the behind the scenes. People are so intrigued when it's just raw and authentic. And if you can showcase, the behind the scenes that people don't always see, that's people like that stuff. They'll just sit there and watch that all day because they've never seen it before. And seeing a laser machine go and seeing how it engraves, like that's always mesmerizing. And seeing a product really come to life and showing that behind the scenes is something that we're recommending to makers to do. And we do it here. We show how we package an order, how we pick an order. We show our warehouse, we show our processes, right? And we show all these things because there's really nothing to hide. If anyone else wants to go out there and start a Makerflo, they can do it.
Sure.
By all means, go for it.
Yeah.
This is how we're doing it. We're okay showing you that. And you should have that same mentality as a maker yourself. It's like, yeah, this is behind the scenes. This is how I'm doing it. This is the machines I'm using. If you want to go make it yourself, by all means, go buy that $10,000 machine and do it yourself. More than likely that viewer is going to be like, no, I don't want to do that. You seem like the expert on it. Thanks for showing me everything. Thanks for being authentic with me. I'd rather just order it from you.
Yeah.
Right.
100%.
And along that, the education would be the second pillar, really educating your customers and your viewers on what you're doing and how you're doing it and the processes involved with that and what makes that product different, than anything else. And I think that's different because when people shop online, they're usually just seeing pictures. You're just swiping through the Amazon listing, seeing pictures. But when you can actually add video to it and voice and speak to your customers and add that element, that can really raise the level of conversion and more customers that can purchase from you.
Yeah. And I think just to add to that a little bit, I think that part also adds a lot of value to the product. So when you're competing for that price, like when you're instead of selling the tumbler 15, people will really understand why you're charging 20 because they get to see everything you do, right? And so they'll be more accepting of a higher price, which you should be charging because you're paying for the
A
machine.
lot goes into that.
Yeah, a lot goes into that they don't see.
Show-
Just because you show a tumbler with engraving doesn't mean like,
Yeah.
oh, that's easy. I'm like, no, it doesn't. No, it's not that easy.
Show yourself designing it and how the designing takes time.
Yeah.
Show it being engraved, show it being cleaned and packaged. Like this all takes time and work.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I think that with that education, that value that we talk about, show the value. I think you'd really show it better than any image can show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The third pillar is really just proof. And that's proof in your customer satisfaction. That's showcasing your reviews. That's showing your customer reactions. It's showing those emails that come in like, wow, thank you so much. You've really made a difference in this order, in this product, in this person I gifted this to. If you get reviews on Etsy or Amazon or Google reviews, showcasing those, showing proof in the pudding that you are the expert at what you do. You do stand on quality and you do stand on premium products. And proof in the before and afters, showcasing, hey, this is what I am starting with, and this is what I'm turning it into, and showing that evolution and proving to your viewers that you're different.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, it's a great way to end that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the three again are behind the scenes content, education content. Teach your customers on how you work, what you do. Show them that it's not easy, right? Show them there's a process. And then obviously proof. You have before your afters. You maybe even post your reviews. You basically show them proof of your work and why that value exists,
Yeah.
right? That, hey, look, it went to somebody and they loved it, right? So those are kind of your two things. Three things. And any kind of cadence that you would recommend as far as how many per day videos or how many per of the three or anything like that?
Yeah. I would say just, you got to set like a weekly cadence. You got to be consistent with it. So really, you don't want to overdo it. You don't want to overcommit and then let yourself down, right? So think of a cadence that you can really manage. And maybe it's a weekly cadence of, let's just start with a few shorts, a few short videos a week. Let's do one value post, where you a little bit more in-depth value post that you can do on your product. One proof customer review, and then really just doing stories as you can, right? Stories is one that kind of gets away from some people because they just forget about it. But think of the moment that you're in and try to capture that, right? The other day we were loading the van to take it to USPS and we said, wow, this is crazy.
Yeah.
And we're like, let's put this on social media. Like, let's put this on the story, you know, we're freaking loading this van up, you know? And to you, it might seem, you know, very casual or it's very regular to you, but not everyone sees what you see through your eyes, you know? So don't be afraid to showcase that. You might think it's simple, but it's going to be intriguing to more people than you think.
Yeah. And you know, it's funny you bring that up. When I watched that video, again, I was like, oh my gosh, like if I would have known I was on camera, I would have acted differently. I would have worn something different. I would have said something different. And then at the end, I was like, no, I think that worked because it wasn't like that. It wasn't planned.
It was real.
Yeah, you just kind of got the camera. I'm like, you're on camera. I'm like, okay, here we go.
That's what the best happens. You know, best things happen when it's real and authentic, and it's not scripted. It's not acted out. It's just like turning the camera on. Like, let's see what happens.